Hey folks, it's Anders, Homegrown Homestead, doing a quick video on if your duck is choking or gasping for breath. So one thing that ducks will sometimes do, they'll be sitting there and you'll see them go like this. They'll be opening and closing their mouths. Nothing else will really much be happening. Usually what that means is there's something stuck in their throat, in their esophagus. And this doesn't necessarily mean that they can't breathe, it just means that there's something stuck in there. If you see a duck doing that and they like you don't hear any kind of air going in and out, they might actually be choking. If your duck is like lying on the ground, you might be too late, RIP. However, if a duck is just sitting there kind of doing this over and over and like still makes noise and like runs or eats or drinks or whatever, and they're still doing this, it probably means that there's just something caught in their throat. A couple things you can do. One is to feed them something that's like kind of bulky. So like bigger chunks of watermelon, grasshoppers, if you are in the season, work really well because they got all like the legs and parts. If you can feed them something good to kind of push down through, that will often do the trick, because often it's like maybe like a piece of twig or something that just kind of caught like a fish bone in your throat, you know? And so if you can send something down that's okay for them to eat, that will kind of dislodge, that's like the best case scenario. Second thing that I've experienced is I will do that and then I will sort of like massage their throat downward to try and pass whatever the blockage is down towards their stomach. One thing that seems to be kind of universal in the duck community that people have said is that their digestive systems are like rock solid. So even if it's something that's kind of like, maybe it is a piece of plastic or something that like shouldn't have been there, but they got into it, it will likely pass through. Also, at the last resort, there's like a duck Heimlich kind of thing, where like if you kind of hold their body, dear, if you hold their body like underneath with one arm towards their head, so like this is the front of the duck and they're kind of straddling your arm, and your other arm goes on top. This is a technique that some people use with Muscovies. It's kind of like a suicide mission for your arm because of their claws. I haven't really done it with great success. I've maybe like wrapped my arm in a towel or something to do it, but then you kind of just like quickly thrust down to sort of like gravitationally thrust something out of their throat if it's like able to be stuck. Another thing you might do is use a flashlight and actually look down their gullet a little bit to see if you can see anything. This is also kind of a risky thing that you can do, and it requires two people to hold the mouth open. You can sometimes use like maybe like the handle of a wooden spoon to like carefully push something down if it's really stuck in there, or really long tweezers if you can see it to pull it out. Again, that's like veterinary level kind of work, and if you're like, bleep, I have to do something, it might be worth giving it a try. Otherwise, I would definitely call a local vet. A lot of local CVAs, VCAs, whatever they're called, will give you advice over the phone. So when in doubt, call one of those. And otherwise, those tricks that I just mentioned have worked before when I've seen my ducks doing that classic like open and close and nothing else. So if you have questions, you're welcome to leave them. I'm not a vet, so if you have like serious questions, I would call a local vet, but hopefully that was helpful. Thanks.